All right, we have a 21 Ducati SuperSport S, and what we're going to be doing is mounting a QuadLock on here. Couple different options. I have this setup from a previous bike. A lot of people will either get a fork mount and you can put it right in here, this tube. This is just a cover that pops off, or you can get an Evotech plate and it threads into these bolts, and then it has a nice mount in the middle. What I'm going to do is use this mount, put it here, have it mount like this, and route the wiring in through here for this wireless charging head into the battery. So that's what we're going to try and do here. You're going to have to neck down this collar, and QuadLock comes with a couple different sizes, so this should fit right from the factory. But we're going to do that. We're going to tighten everything up, and then we're going to start pulling the fairing off to get to the battery. All right, so no, I did not get into a crash. This is just what you have to do to access the battery. There is a great video online of a guy showing exactly how to get this done. It's about 11 bolts to get the fairing off. It takes 3 or 4 minutes. So just keep track of what bolts go where. But the reason I'm doing this is to wire up the charging system for the QuadLock. And this is the same setup that I have on another bike. I have made it through rainstorms. I've been through thousands and thousands of miles across the country, multiple years. Hasn't failed me yet, so I got another one. Cheap, 15 bucks on Amazon. I like being able to turn it off and on manually and see the active battery voltage versus the QuadLock setup that is just automatic. I just trust being able to do that. It's got a nice weatherproof cover and plenty of lead. So what I'm going to do is run it up here, mount it somewhere, maybe tuck it in there, somewhere where it's out of the way, but I can still see the screen for that battery voltage, and then also be able to press the button on and off to turn the whole power on and off. And then again, that'll run up here to the QuadLock. I'm running it up and down versus side to side, because if I do side to side, if I go with my phone in a portrait orientation and then I have the bar full lock, the handlebars full lock to the left, the phone would hit the tank. And I normally run it portrait, not landscape. I think you can get away with having the QuadLock over here if you run your phone landscape, but I don't want to have that interference issue. If you're asking, well, why didn't you just go to the power source under the seat here and do the USB right there? It's because this is only 1 volt, I believe, and so it's not going to be enough power for the QuadLock wireless charging head, especially once you start using GPS and have your screen on anything else. It won't be able to keep up with charging your phone as quickly as it is drained through battery. So you really have to tap in to the battery. I've seen some people use some of the blank leads that are part of the wiring harness. You can splice in there, but this is just a tried and true method for me. So I know it works, and this is what I'm gonna go with. So after a lot of different options that I tried placing the charger in, I think I settled on a good spot. So I have it right here, and it's just 3M taped right to the frame. And that way I can click it on, I can see the voltage, I can access the cables, charging mount is good. I can go full lock this way and the fork is not touching, even with the cable sticking out. And then once I put the piece of the fairing back on where it would live, we have it just kind of stealthy in there. So when you're riding, you can check your voltage, you can pop it on and off, and it really does hide in the way nicely overall. So I still need to clean up this cable routing, but I tried to put it up here and the fork would interfere right there. I tried to put it right here. These cables would interfere. trying to put it a couple different places and, still having access to it with the fairings on without things interfering. I do not want, you're not going full lock that often, but if you are, I don't want a stupid little charger to be interfering with that. So this is where I put my setup, and then I just routed the cabling right down here behind some of the hoses, and then I have it tucked away in here. Everything's nice and good. So we're going to put all the fairings back on and then go for a test and see how it does. And with that, we are done. So ignore the bar and mirrors. I'm just testing some different setups before I take the actual stock mirrors off. But we have the QuadLock wireless charger, vibration dampener, extension arm, and then bar end mount, all on the bike. And then we have the cable routing through here underneath. Part of the wiring loom. These are great little easy on, easy off cable ties. So wired through there, and then we have it down right there tucked in. So if you are on the bike, it's easy enough to test it out. Everything's happy with the bike. I need to set the date and time because I disconnected the battery when I did this. So, recording my phone right now, but that's how my phone will be. And then it would be wirelessly charging through here. I can go full lock this way. I'm not interfering down there at all. This is not hitting the tank. Again, if I had it horizontal, it was going to be hitting. So, go that way. And then when I want to, I can just flip on the charger. And if you look, we got 12.2 right now. And if I want, turn on the bike. And so that keeps running if I want it to. I would never really want it to because it's going to drain the battery, but you can see the active voltage, which is nice. And then I could unplug this USB. There's a little dust cover that I could flip as well if I start going through rain. And this is already a waterproof setup, so nothing to worry about there. But there you have it. Not too hard. I mean, probably the most time was just figuring out where I want to mount that little charger. And now that you see where I did it, I mean, I really don't see many other places on this bike. So that might be where you want to use as a mounting location as well. But then fairing goes back on. No one could even tell it's there. All right. Thanks for watching, guys.